Immortality. Take it. It's yours. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are going to wonder, how does that have anything to do with the review that I'm about to do? And I think that as you understand what I am talking about, who I am talking about, you will understand why that line has relevance here. Okay, I am back. A few disclaimers before we get started or before we get rolling. These videos are completely unedited and unfiltered. They're more like podcasts, I guess, because there's not a whole lot to see. And so I just say whatever I say, and I apologize. There are adult things that will come out of my mouth. Absolutely. So if your kids are in the room, you probably want to ask them to leave or put this on your headphones. And just so you know, there will be spoilers, especially for the video or the movie that I am reviewing. But oftentimes I go off on tangents and give spoilers for other movies. But have no fear, I will put a list of movies, all of the movies that I talk about, mention, quote, underneath this video, and I will have a header that says spoilers. So if you want to avoid spoilers for any of the movies that I might give spoilers away for, you can see what movies I do give spoilers away for. So, tonight, it is November 26th, and it is Tina Turner's birthday. The late, amazing, one-of-a-lifetime Tina Turner. She passed away earlier this year, and I'm getting a little choked. It broke my heart because I was a huge fan. She died 2 days before my birthday this year, May 24th. And it was a big blow, even though, everybody lives and moves on, and she has moved on, but it was still, there are certain people I feel like when they pass, it's going to be a big impact on me, and this was a big one this year when she passed. Anyway, I am doing this review because today is her birthday, and it fit perfectly because it actually fits one of the categories in the book, one of the challenges in the book, challenge number 39. About an actual composer, musician, band, or group. I think they said an actual because I guess there have been movies of, nothing comes straight to my mind, but there have been movies of like fake bands or fake composers or whatever. But this is about an actual composer, musician, band, or group. Absolutely qualifies. The movie title, What's Love Got to Do With It? If you haven't seen it, 1993. If you haven't seen it, you know what? I got to be honest and just say right here, right now, this is not an amazingly made film. It is an okay made film. It's like maybe a step above a made for TV film. I just finished last night watching Stephen King's, I love The Storm of the Century. And finally it's gotten cold here in LA. I have all my windows open and it's like it's in the 50s, I think, finally. I love cold weather. If you don't know me, you know I love cold weather. Yes, 57. So I have all my windows open. I'm literally wearing walking around in a tank top and shorts because I love the cold weather, and it's finally got cold. And Storm of the Century, why am I going off on this tangent? Storm of the Century is one of those movies I love watching when it's cold weather. The Hateful Eight, The Lord of the Rings, The Harry Potters. There are certain movies I love watching when it's cold weather. Just for some reason, my brain associates it with cold weather. And Storm of the Century was one of those, which was a made-for-TV movie. Absolutely my favorite Stephen King made-for-TV movie. And this movie, What's Love Got to Do With It, the production value, the editing, the directing, I would say is like a cut above maybe a made-for-TV movie. It is not like fantastic, brilliantly made like some of the other films that I have reviewed. Okay, so a lot of what I have to talk about tonight is not about the filmmaking per se. It's more about the story and the unbelievable, fantastic acting wow, there's some great acting in this film, and if it hadn't been for the music value and the acting value, this probably would not have been a film that stuck in my mind. But it absolutely does because of that. So just wanted to say, yes, this is not like a 10 out of 10 5-star movie. Actually, what would I rate it? Probably like a 3.5. I'm going to do that right now because I didn't do that until now. 3.5, I think, I would say. The acting is what really brings out this film. Like, really fantastic. And the story, because it's based on Tina Turner's book, I, Tina, and what I love is that we're watching her story told through her eyes, more or less. Yes, the screenplay was somebody else's, but it's her story. This is her made while she was alive, talking about her. So this is not a posthumous film where we only speculate on how she felt or what she was going through. This is actually her based on her book, which is why I really like this film. Okay, let's move on with the book. The book says, year released, 1993, aspect ratio 1.85:1, running time an hour and 58 minutes, genre, biography, drama, music. Interesting that they have a music genre in the IMDb. Rated R, absolutely, because there are elements to the story that are very sad, but very the violence and the drugs and very traumatic. Date challenge completed. Tina Turner's birthday, 11/26/23. The year she passed, because she passed, like I said, in May 24th of this year. Starring. Okay, so here's where IMDb fails me. I don't like saying, as you have, for those of you who have listened to plenty of my videos, I don't like saying negative things about anybody or anything. That's not what I thrive on. I would rather compliment and say things I love and sing things that work, But tonight I found something that really failed me. Is IMDb fails me when it comes to top cast. It says top cast. Okay, Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne are on the top cast. Okay, but on the IMDb page for What's Love Got to Do with It, the top cast is Angela Bassett, Lawrence Fishburne, and the choir in the beginning. All these people that didn't do anything throughout the whole film. Why is this on top cast? Why is the entire top cast just the choir members from the opening scene? Fail. IMDb, fail. No. The top cast should be the actors we went through the whole entire movie with. The mother, Jackie, Frost, all the people we went through the entire movie with should be on top cast, not that. So sorry, tangent, IMDb, fail. When it comes to starring Angela Bassett, Lawrence Fishburne, yes, absolutely. But then I had to go into all cast to who are some of the other names that I might not know off the top of my head, but want to mention because they did a great job. Penny Johnson-Gerald, I fucking love her, but didn't know her at the time when I saw this film. Didn't know her at all. I have a note about that later, so I'm not going to say, but Penny Johnson-Gerald, Richard T. Jones, another guy. Richard T. Jones has done some great work, but I didn't know him at the time when I saw this film. And there are other people in this film that I would love to mention, but I don't, it's now I got to hunt and peck through IMDb's all cast to try to figure out, okay, who do I want to mention because they didn't do a good job with top cast. Vanessa Bell Calloway, wow, as Jackie, great job. There's some other people that I would love to mention, but it's really hard to find because this is a huge cast, but IMDb fails me with top cast. Okay, moving on. Directed by Brian Gibson, produced by Doug Chapin, Barry Crost, Crost, Kate Lanier. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, Lanier. Written by, okay, this is, like I said, this is based on Tina Turner's book she wrote with Kurt Lauder, and the screenplay is by Kate Lanier. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Lanier. Music by Stanley Clarke. Awards received. Okay, so it was nominated for 2 Academy Awards. Well, was it nominated for more than 2? The 2 that pop in my head, but it may have been nominated for more than one. No. It's nominated for 2 Academy Awards. Best Leading Actor, Lawrence Fishburne, and Best Leading Actress, Angela Bassett. They are both fucking amazing. Like I've already said, this movie is not driven by the cinematography or the music or the editing or the directing. This movie, because it's maybe like a cut above a made-for-TV movie, in my opinion, the production value. Okay, but what drives this movie, what makes this movie great even to today, is the acting. Holy shit! And of course, they deserve nomination for the acting. Now, I thought to myself, okay, they didn't win. They were only nominated. So then what I do want to say real quick is awards received. Angela Bassett did win the Golden Globe. She did not win the Academy. Okay, so then I was thinking to myself, okay, well then who was she up against that she lost to when it came to Academy? Actress in the leading role. Angela Bassett was up against Holly Hunter for The Piano, Stockard Channing for 6 Degrees of Separation, Emma Thompson for The Remains of the Day, and Deborah Winger for Shadowlands. Now, here's the unfortunate thing. I'm not allowed to say shit. Why? Because I haven't seen any of I have not seen any of those films. The Piano, 6 Degrees of Separation, The Remains of the Day, and Shadowlands. I have not seen any of them. So, the only movie that I've seen is What's Love Got to Do with It with Angela Bassett. So, can I, with any authority, say that she deserved the Academy Award? No, I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed. If I haven't seen those, I can't say. Okay, so let's look at leading actor, because I thought Lawrence Fishburne was fucking amazing in this film. Wow. But am I allowed to say that he deserved the award? Well, let's find out. Actor in a leading role. Liam Neeson in Schindler's List. Yes, I saw it. Fantastic. Anthony Hopkins in The Remains of the Day. Oh, shit. I haven't seen it, so now I know I can't say. Even if you miss one, I don't care. If you've seen 4 out of 5, you're still not allowed to say. You're still not allowed. Okay, so not with any authority. So Anthony Hopkins in Reigns of the Day, I did not see it. Lawrence Fishburne, What's Love Got to Do with It? Daniel Day-Lewis. I am not going to sit here and talk about my... Okay, moving on. In the Name of the Father, I have not seen. And Tom Hanks in Philadelphia. God bless it. Right away, I can say, Lawrence Fishburne, sorry, love your performance, but Tom Hanks in Philadelphia, who won that year, brilliant performance. And one day I will review that movie. On Thanksgiving, I was at Thanksgiving dinner with one of the actresses in Philadelphia and had a fun story about Tom Hanks that I will not talk about now, but when I do my review of Philadelphia, hopefully I remember and we'll talk about. It's a cute story, the first time I ever heard of it. So, Thanksgiving Day with anyway, moving on. So, their acting is amazing. And can I agree with the fact that they did or didn't deserve it? You know what? I have to say, that Tom Hanks definitely deserved it over Lawrence Fishburne, but I can't say it with any authority whether Angela Bassett deserved it over anybody else. So moving on with the book, why did you choose this particular film? Today's Tina Turner's birthday, and again, she passed away earlier this year, which was... I felt it when it happened. I would just like, what? Oh, man. I know everybody's got to go at some point, but, we lost such an amazing, just a once-in-a-lifetime. I felt that when we lost Robin Williams. I felt that way when we lost, there are certain people, when we lose them, I'm just like, oh, man. I know eventually it had to happen, but, oh, man, Richard Harris and so many others. Okay, moving on. Have you seen this movie before? Oh, yes, plenty of times. I saw this as a kid. I was not old enough to see it in the theater. I do own it. I need to get it on Blu-ray because, honestly, I feel like maybe the DVD version is at fault for the sound, because the sound in this film is horrible. Again, I don't like saying negative things about people or their work, but the sound and the sound editing in this is just horrible, in my opinion. And I'm like, is that because I have it on DVD still? I don't know. I can't wait to get the Blu-ray version and see if the sound quality is better. I don't know. Would you recommend this film? Why or why not? Yes, I would. I would recommend this for the acting, like I've already said, and the story. If you don't know Tina Turner's story, if you don't know what she had to endure to become who she became, and the insane icon she became, constantly breaking records of concert attendance. Side note, I love Tina Turner so much. Okay, let's get into this real quick. Let's get into a little bit of backstory real quick. I don't want to make this video really, really long, but I do want to say my sister who passed when she was 15 of a drunk driving. I'm not going to get into it. She was 15. She was not drinking. She was not driving. But she... Moving on. She introduced, more or less, she got the family to listen to Cyndi Lauper. We have always been a Cyndi Lauper family. Not so much Madonna. Because Cyndi Lauper and Madonna used to combat as to who would be the better blah, blah, blah. Okay, and I know a lot of people who love Madonna, and I've heard, later on in life, I started listening to a little Madonna, and there was an album that I loved, and blah, 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 but Cyndi Lauper has always been it for me and our family. Absolutely. Because of my sister. Okay, my other sister who did not pass, who is still with us, was a big fan of Paula Abdul when Paula Abdul started becoming popular. But I got sick of it. She listened to certain Paula Abdul songs that so much that I got so sick of it. Of course, I listen to songs nowadays so much, probably more than she did. But for whatever reason, when she did it, yes, I did not get on the Paula Abdul fan wagon. Although there are a couple of songs that I do enjoy of hers. Yes. I discovered no one else in the family had shown me or listened to Tina Turner. I discovered Tina Turner, fell in love with her music. Holy shit. Because a friend of my dad's, a biker friend, I've said before, my dad is a biker friend of my dad's really introduced me to this old-time rock and roll music. Buddy Holly, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, all this great, fantastic fucking music that I so identify with. And eventually I discovered through all of that, like researching all that music, through all of that, I found Ike and Tina. Ike Turner and Tina Turner. And then Tina's solo music, fuck yeah, great music. I fell in love with Tina. And I used to listen to her so much and all the time. And this movie. I didn't know anything about Tina Turner's life before I saw this movie. And this movie came out in 93. So I really got into Tina Turner, and it was after my parents had divorced, and I'm living with my mom, really got into Tina Turner, and I found out that my mom tried to get me tickets one year for Tina Turner's concert that was going to be locally for my birthday, but when she went to find tickets for it, it had been sold out, like completely, not even nosebleed available, sold out. And that's why I remember the fact that she broke records with her concert attendance. And I love my mom so much for this to this day for wanting me to get tickets, or wanting to get tickets to Tina Turner for me. Anyway, I would recommend this film because if you don't know Tina's life and what she went through to become who she became, the icon she became, this movie will show you what she went through because it's based on her book. So yes, I would recommend it to anybody who wants to know about Tina. Which character were you most able to identify with or connect with in which way? Again, is another one was like I couldn't answer it ahead of time. I had to watch it. And I hate constantly going, "Oh, the main character. Oh, the main character." But to be honest, I know that I'm meant for something more than what I am doing right now, which is accounting and these whatever you want to call them. What would you call it? A podcast? Would you call it a review? Whatever you might want to call it. I love film. And I know that I was made to make film, to be an actor. And Tina, knew she was made for something more. She progressed in it a lot earlier than I did. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to the status that she has yet, but I will. But she got to it earlier. And thank God she did, but not a lot. Her mother was not very supportive of it. Her mother had to be coaxed into it. I have a note for that later on. Holy shit. We're at 22 minutes. I want to get into my notes, so let's move on. Memorable line, best line or memorable quote. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Absolutely. The Buddhist chant. Absolutely. Sticks out in my mind. There are so many. I watched this movie so many times, over and over and over. I loved this movie. I watched it so many times. There are so many lines that I memorized and I will say because I put them all in the notes. But Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is I mean, they open up with that. So that would be a memorable quote. Were you surprised by the ending? What would you do differently? Okay, so again, what do you consider the end? For this question, I considered the last fucking shot. Like if you want to talk about the ending, not the ending scene, because the ending scene is brilliant and I have notes for it, but I'm talking about the last fucking shot of the movie. And that is when they finally showed Tina Turner in concert. Brilliant, because I love her, and I was like, yes, they actually have Tina in concert. Wow. Love it. Wouldn't change it. Okay. Is the composer, musician, band, group, blah, 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 is the musician featured in the film one that you regularly listen to? Okay, I used to listen to Tina all the fucking time. And for whatever reason, there are other female artists that I listen to a lot. Like I said, Cyndi Lauper and Nika Costa and so many others that I listen to that are fantastic, wonderful. But for whatever reason, the past maybe 5 or 10 years, I've not been huge into Tina. I've been listening to a lot of other stuff. But when Tina passed, I so got back into her, and I'm listening to her all the time now. So yes and no. What new information did you learn? Again, I didn't know anything about Tina's life when I saw this film. I just knew her music, and I had come to her music through other means, and then found her again, more of her music and her life through this film. When I saw this film, fantastic movie. So this movie came out in 93. Sometimes, I don't know where it is. Sometimes IMDb shows you like the release date, so I can be like, ooh, what was the actual day the movie came out? Real quick, just checking real quick. It used to be like, release date, yes! Release date, June 25th, 1993. Okay, so that was after my birthday in 93. So I would have been 12. But I didn't see this movie in the theater. So I must have seen it when it was released elsewhere. So probably the year after, 94. So I may have been 12. I may have been 13. No, I feel like, no. The unfortunate situation is I don't think my dad would have appreciated the fact that I was listening to Tina Turner. So I can almost guarantee that I was not listening to Tina Turner, did not see this film until I was living with my mother, which was when I was 15 years old. My dad hit me and kicked me out when I was 2 weeks before my 15th birthday. So I must have seen this movie in probably 95, 96 probably. So anyway, everything that I knew about her was brand new in this film. Everything. Anything else you'd like to say? I said my notes. I have plenty of notes, and we need to get to them because we're already 26 minutes. And the last little thing it says here is Tom Hulse. I hope I'm saying that correct. Hulse. Tom Hulse practiced piano 4 to 5 hours a day in order to portray a believable Mozart in Amadeus, 1984. I've not seen Amadeus. That's one of the movies I should probably see because I hear it's fantastic. Okay, let's get into the notes because we have some notes and holy shit. Little Tina is fantastic. You ain't singing with Mr. Bootsy Law, his white, Mr. Bootsy Law White. What did he say? You ain't singing with Mr. White Bootsy. Oh shit, Mr. Bootsy White Law. That's what. You ain't singing with Mr. Bootsy White Law and his slide trombone. I love that whole beginning. That little actress, the little girl who plays young anime, is fantastic. She's just the little lip when she's singing. Yes, I love that. She's great. I found this movie on my own. This is probably I got really into film when I was young. And so this is one of the movies I found on my own. Nobody else told me about this movie. I found it myself. Again, I was probably like 15, 16 years old and watching stuff on my own. I'm not going to go into a history of my life, but like I said, it was definitely after I went and lived with my mom. And this is probably the first musician biography I ever saw, ever. And I just was hooked on it. It was so good. I could identify with a lot of it, and I have notes to that effect. I'm glad that her mother left the abusive relationship. It's sad to see that she leaves her sister behind. She leaves anime behind, but I understand it. So this brings up a lot. I lived in a very, my father was an alcoholic. He was a drug addict. He was very abusive physically, verbally, very. I witnessed a lot of physical abuse on my mother. I endured some physical abuse. And I'm glad that she leaves that in the beginning, but it is sad that she leaves some behind. There were so many of us kids in the house that I remember my mom saying that she didn't want to leave earlier because the youngest wasn't old enough to understand, but I wish she would have left earlier because of the abuse she had to endure. So this movie hits home on that aspect, because this is not the end of the physical abuse, the beginning. The physical abuse continues. Anyway, it is sad to see that. I love that in the beginning we're not trying to waste time with her childhood. We're talking about a musician. We want to as soon as possible, we want to get to when she becomes a musician, when she's recognized for her being who she is. So we try to get through this beginning part ASAP within a couple of minutes. Yes, we want to show a couple of things because they're significant. She was raised by her grandma. She went, when her grandma died, she went back to her mom's, blah, blah, blah. We want to get through this real quick because we don't care about that. What we care about is when she's recognized for being the musician. Now, don't think you're going to come into my house and make me feel bad, which... Like I said, there are so many great lines in this movie. I'm not going to look it up because it's going to take too much time to find out who that actress is. But she's great. The mother, she's great. But it's sad to see how her mother treats her. It is sad to see, abandon her, and then how she treats her later as an ATM. It's sad. I'm the only sinner in this house. When I was young, I don't know why, but I heard her say, I'm the only singer in the house. Singer? Well, she's the only singer, and then Tina defies her by singing? I always thought that was a thing until, I guess, probably when I got in my 20s and was like, she doesn't say singer. She says sinner. Sinner. Oh. I didn't get it. I guess the actress was not good enough at really getting sinner. I'm the only singer in the house. She says, I'm the only sinner in the house. And I confused it. My fault. But, okay. Love the jazz bar. The jazz bar is great. Love the lighting in the jazz bar. Lawrence Fishburne is amazing in this film. This is the first film where I was like, Lawrence Fishburne. I don't know if he... I can look up his IMDb and say, okay, there's a bunch of stuff. I don't know if I saw his other stuff before I saw this, but this is the first film. Lawrence, oh, no. I can almost guarantee you. Holy shit. Okay, I'm going to do it. Because I'm an asshole and it's, 32 minutes long and I'm still going to take the time to, real quick, what year was... Okay, this is 93. What year was Red Heat? Was that 80-something? 86? 87? Yep. 88. Ah, shit. I was 1 year off. Okay. I'm a huge Schwarzenegger fan, like I've said in other videos. So I had seen Red Heat. Absolutely seen Red Heat before I had seen this film. Did I know that was Lawrence Fishburne? Probably not. I had seen Cadence because my mom loved that movie. And it's a great movie. It's a fun movie. It's really, really well done. And I had seen Cadence before I had seen this movie. What else? I cannot say that I had seen Boys in the Hood before or after. I probably saw Boys in the Hood way after this. Probably. That was not a movie that I probably would have gravitated towards at the time. Probably not a movie. Definitely not a movie my dad would have watched. Definitely. So, What's Love Got to Do with It is the first movie that I remember recognizing Lawrence Fishburne. Okay? I may have seen Cadence once. Maybe twice at the most. Red Heat, I probably would have saw a bunch of times, but not recognized Lawrence Fishburne because he's kind of a side character. But absolutely this, Lawrence Fishburne was like amazing. Here's this amazing actor who does such a great fucking job that makes me hate him because of how he acts. And wow. So this is where I really he deserved the nomination. But, Tom Hanks and Philadelphia. Okay. I like that little scene where Ike lets the girl sing with him. That's really cool. You've been bit by the Ike Turner bug. Okay, when you hear Angela Bassett sing, you're like, oh, she's got a pretty good voice. When she's singing in the bathroom. But I thank God and the movie makers. Thank you, Brian Gibson. Don't let her sing the Tina songs, because Tina is known for having such a distinct voice and sound that you can't have somebody else. You can't. And you know what? Who's the girl that? Again, I'm going to be an asshole. I'm totally going to be an asshole right now. And I'm just going to say, oh man, who was the I'm trying to get to this as soon as possible. Who did the Aretha Franklin movie? Respect. That's what it was called. Respect. Jennifer Hudson. Okay, Jennifer, you've got an amazing voice. I am not diminishing your voice whatsoever. You have an amazing fucking talent. You are brilliant, yes. But you are not Aretha Franklin. And in my opinion, watching that movie, not hearing Aretha Franklin was distracting. And when we finally got to hear Aretha at the end, I was like, there is Aretha. There are some musicians that have a passion that transcend quality voice. It's not about your quality voice. It is about the passion and the era and the persona of the person. So watching Respect was challenging because I was hearing somebody else. I wasn't hearing Aretha. And it took me out of it a little. That's why I appreciate What's Love Got to Do with It and who is it? Brian Gibson's choice to, yes, let's have Tina's song. Because why? Because Tina. She has a distinct voice and passion and quality. And we want to hear that. We don't want to hear Angela Bassett singing these songs. So thank you. Thank you. Gotta move on. It always gives me goosebumps when she first sings with Ike. It's like, yeah. Oh my God, I gotta move on. We're only in the beginning of the film. Okay. You got your own particular way of getting a song out you. I have a flair for making singers famous. That you already see the manipulation when he's saying, I made other people famous and they left me. You already see the startings of. I don't know if that's really, I don't think people have that. Maybe they do. Maybe they have that in mind, that I want you with me and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get you with me. Yes, I've worked with people that way, unfortunately. That discovery of Tina Turner is like what the Hollywood dream is all about. Like somebody acknowledges that you have a natural God-given talent and they're going to make you, because they have the connections to make you what you are. And I guess part of me keeps looking for that. The one person who recognizes the talent that I have and then just gets me where I need to go. Or I'll do it somehow. Like, Sylvester Stallone. It's sad to see when parents want to dictate who their children will be. Yes, you had this child. This child is yours. Without you, this child would not be. But please let your children be who they are. Don't try to make them who you want them to be, because it is possible that they have a talent and a reason to be here that is far beyond your understanding. And so this mother is unfortunately slightly despicable. I can't remember. I don't know who the actress is because IMDb is failing me and I would have to take forever to find out who this actress was. But she's a very good actress because she makes me feel like, wow, she's just despicable. Let your child be who your child wants to be. And then she's like, she wants money from her later and blah. Anyway. Moving on. I love that he bribes the mom to get Tina in that first recording session. Penny Johnson-Gerald, I have this note now. Wow. Okay, so when I saw this movie, this character made such an impression on me. The actress. Okay, no small parts. And I will say this right now. Okay, Penny Johnson-Gerald did such a great job. She was so fantastic. She made such an impact on such a small character. Because honestly, this character is not like super significant. She doesn't have a large role, Lorraine. But she made such an impact on the small part that she did, being the actress that she is, that I remembered it. It made a significant impact on me. And later on, when she was in 24, that's when I was like, I knew her name. Penny Johnson-Gerald, 24. Oh my God, she's amazing. And I had seen her in this, and I had seen her in Absolute Power, but didn't know her name until 24 and was like, whoa. And then when I, rewatched this again and was like, holy shit, that was Penny Johnson-Gerald? Whoa. Of course it was. Wow. Amazing actress. I love that little scene where he's like, open your mouth, and she thinks he might be, going to make a move on her or kiss her, and it's like about her teeth. That was a neat scene. I like that a lot. And that's just an interjection because my next note is about the attempted suicide. It's made such an impact. The acting is great, and Angela Bassett's reaction to the suicide and opening the door and seeing it, we don't see it as the audience, but boy, we feel what the scene might have been because of Angela Bassett's acting in this film. Like, whoa, her reaction to it makes us see it, even though we never see it as the audience. Wow. I hate, and it is sad, and it is despicable that Ike comes on to Tina. It's anime at the time, at the very fucking night Lorraine goes to the fucking hospital. What? It's despicable. Wow. But I mean, that's the character, and he does a really good job. You're supposed to feel that way. Of course, that's despicable. What? Your girlfriend goes to the hospital, and then you're coming onto. Wow. You have sex with this girl. Wow. Okay. Now you need an ass whooping. Okay. When they fuck up Tina's hair. Wow, when they're gonna bleach her hair and the wigs. Such a prominent scene, like, holy shit, did that really happen? Did she lose all her hair? And we didn't even realize, I mean, I wasn't old enough to know, but I mean, did she really lose all her hair and then had to wear wigs for a year or more until it, grew back in? That's sad. Wow, ouch. Oh, the name. When he finally gives her the name, Tina, her reaction when she's sick in bed after giving birth, and Akatina, what's that? No, Ike and Tina. He gave you his name. What kind of name is that? that reaction is really good. Really good acting. It's sad to see that it takes that much. Constantly on the road, constantly engagement after engagement. It's sad to see that they have to go through that much to get respect in the musical industry, because Tina Turner had a raw, amazing fucking talent. She is an icon in the music industry, much like I said, Aretha Franklin, or Whitney Houston, or Madonna, or anyone like that. Like, amazing icons share in the music industry, and it's sad that she had to go through that much just to get respect in the industry. I hope that that's not how it is to today, but it might be, but wow. The proposal on the escape ladder when he's trying to take her out, it was so sweet and endearing. Like, at the moment, at the time, I thought, oh, that's so cool. That is so, like, in the moment. But I also have a feeling it was slightly manipulative, the more that I see it now. But I still think that was a great scene to have that, that little scene on the fire escape as they're taking her out, and then getting her to acknowledge it. I love that the wedding in Mexico is black and white. It's such a cool, like, being filmed. They do that several times in the film, where it's like being filmed by a handheld, and these are our memories type of thing. They did that really well. I like that. Oh, when she's sick and she can't go on. I love that scene when she's really, really sick and he gets pissed at her. And you finally see the first hints of, like, Ike's anger. And you're like, whoa, this ain't okay. Well, someone who's grown up with so much anger and violence in the house, I saw the signs right there. Whoa, I actually saw the signs earlier. But as far as the film, you're like, whoa, there's something up here. It's so well done, that scene. And then when they go down to sing, what's the song? Fool in Love, I think that's the song. And she's silent, and he comes and kisses her, and then the teardrop, and then she sings. It's so well done. Wow. This scene is why multiple scenes like this is why I say this is a cut above TV, made for TV film. You can see the production quality is not fantastic, but the story, editing, directing is very, very well done. And this is one of the scenes where I love they did it the way they did it, and the lighting and the camera angle. The costumes throughout this whole movie are fucking amazing. And wow, the costume department had a lot to do. Wow. And fantastic job. Fantastic job. I hate, it's sad when Lorraine, again, Penny Johnson-Gerald, when Lorraine drops off the kids, it's sad. It's sad that she would abandon the kids. It is. It's sad that he doesn't want anything to do with the kids. And these are these two human beings that made these children. What must the children feel? I don't care how old they are young. They know. I'm sorry. There are certain things when you are young, things make an impact. I know, for having been through some traumatic events in my life, that there are things that impact you, whether you believe someone at 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 would know. They do. It makes an impact. And so it's sad to see these parents not giving a shit about their kids, basically. And it's sad. And it's a great testament to Angela Bassett's acting, working with these extremely young boys who have, are not trained actors, of course. Like we would have nowadays, we would search for trained actors nowadays. But these two boys who clearly have no acting talent whatsoever, and she does a great job trying to make the scene work. Great job. The pool party. Holy shit. So, again, great acting. Fantastic acting by both of them. That when he, the first time we see on film that he beats her, physically abuses her, drags her through the house into the other room. The kids are crying. The fucking vicious cycle. For someone who witnessed that. For someone who has witnessed that. I did not witness Tina Turner being beat, but I witnessed my mom being beat so many times. So many times. For someone who has witnessed that, it was done very well. And the acting and the act, it was very good scene. Very good scene. All the physical abuse is done very, very well. I'm glad that these two actors committed to these characters on both ends of the spectrum and said, we need to make this work. Holy shit. I would love to talk to Angela Bassett and or both Lawrence Fishburne and say, what was it like knowing you had these scenes in this film? When you started working together, what was it like? Did you take time aside from just being on set and say, we need to make these scenes work? How far can I go? Did Lawrence Fishburne ever ask, how far can I go in being real? Did Angela Bassett say, I want you to make this look real? I wonder if they collaborated outside of like being on set to make this look the way it looked. Because it came across very, very well. Very well. Phil Spector. When he comes into this scene and says, I want to record with Tina. Phil Spector wants to record with Ike and Tina. No. I just want to record with Tina. The acting is great. You see Angela, and not only that, but later on afterwards when the song is playing, and they're listening to the song. The acting by the two are fantastic. And the two who got nominated, Angela and Lawrence. Wow, they deserved it. Why? Because you see the disdain in the little things, the little eye moves, the little things that Lawrence Fishburne does, the jealousy, the disdain in his movements and his mannerisms, and the Angela Bassett is like, how is he going to react? Is he going to fly off the handle? You see all that in her performance. It's brilliant. Brilliant. In both scenes. Not only when Phil Spector just wants to work with her, but also when he's listening to the song and you can tell she's like not sure how he's going to take it. Is he going to like this song? And when he compliments her, does he mean it for real? I don't know. All those little things are brilliant in those scenes. Wow. You ain't got to hit me but once. Oh my God, that scene in the diner. Wow. You ain't got to let the motherfucker pound on you. Just take the cake, Anna. Just take that whole scene. Wow. How traumatic it must have been for the kid who came up and asked for Tina Turner's autograph. I wonder if that's true. I'm assuming it is because Tina wrote the book. Did this kid come up and ask for her autograph, and then literally minutes later, the abuse, and then seeing all that? What a memory that must have made for that kid who asked for her autograph. Wow. I can't believe that when she finally gets the courage to leave the first time, the mother fucking tells Ike where she's at. I think that's fucked up. I think Angela Bassett's acting through those multiple scenes is brilliant. When she finally gets the courage to leave and tells her mom, and then Ike takes the kids, that really fucking great. The Proud Mary montage. I'm trying to go through this quick because it's already 54. The Proud Mary montage. Wow. Okay. I noticed tonight when I was watching it, all the scenes in London when they're doing the opening for the Stones, I think it was the Stones, is all on the left side. We're all looking at her from, it's her stage right, but our stage left. So we're all looking, all of the scenes, everything was left. And I was like, why is it all left? Why don't we have a mix-up, front, back? We stay with that concert a while. Why are we all on the left? I thought that was interesting. Again, it's not a fantastically well done, film. I love the outfit in Chicago. Fucking hell, that's sexy as fuck. I'm a gay man, and I still think the outfit she had in the when they do the Proud Mary montage and they say it's in Chicago, that outfit is fucking hot, and especially on Angela Bassett at the time. Wow, that like rag torn up brown outfit. Whoa. Not only was it a great outfit, but she wore it brilliantly. Wow. If you think Angela Bassett's hot and you have not seen this film, that scene is worth it. That scene is worth it. Holy shit. Woo! Okay. I love that the montages, the music montages progress the story. I think Angela Bassett is in great fucking shape for this film. She's so toned, so muscular, and like when I heard they were doing X-Men, fucking Angela Bassett should be Storm. She like the epitome of Storm. Gorge, like boom. Ugh. But they cast Halle Berry. Nothing against Halle Berry. I think she's wonderful. I don't think she's Storm. I to this day, there was, tangent. That entire movie was probably cast, that entire fucking movie was cast wrong. Aside from probably two, I can think of two people who were not cast wrong. Obviously, Hugh Jackman was not cast wrong. Brilliant, wonderful. But and Ian McKellen as Magneto. Brilliant, fucking never would have, can't think of another Magneto. But then again, Hugh Jackman and Ian McKellen are such amazing fucking actors that you cast them in anything and you would think, I can't think of anybody else that could have done. Of course. Anyway, not Angela Bassett should have been Storm. Let's move on. Okay. Oh, I love that they end that montage, the Proud Mary montage. Here's the shift. It's all about Tina Turner. And Ike raises his hands for acknowledgments, and the spotlights already have gone completely off him. I love that they show that because it's about Tina now. And we're shifting. It's about Tina. It's not Ike and Tina. It's Tina. The rape scene is traumatic as fuck. I'm trying to get through these notes. The rape scene is traumatic as fuck. And wow. Again, I wonder if these two actors really worked off set a lot to say, we got to make this look real. We got to work on it. I wonder what their opinion of each other would be now. I would love to ask them, what was your experience making this film? And this rape scene is another scene that is like, how did you fucking get this to look the way it did and still be friends? Because it looks so traumatic. I knew something was coming up. His attitude, his demeanor, he's doing the drugs. You knew something was coming up. He tells everybody to leave. I still can't understand how rape doesn't even enter my mind. I don't understand it. I don't understand how someone can do that to someone. Just the thought of the violence, I don't understand how you can stay hard. I know I'm being very adult right now. I don't understand how you can stay hard and hurt someone in that way. That makes zero sense to me. Zero. I would not be able to inflict that kind of emotional and mental pain and still say hard. That makes no sense to me. Wow. Very adult here, but that's... her OD afterwards is brilliant. She does a great job. I love, you hear me, bitch? If you don't make it, I'm gonna kill you. Oh my God, he still stays true to character, and he's so... I love to hate him in this film. Much like Penny Johnson-Gerald in 24, I love to fucking hate her in 24. Love to hate her in 24. She's so despicable, and Lawrence Fishburne is the same. I love to hate you in this film as Ike because you're despicable, and you do a great job at being despicable. I love that quick little scene at the hospital when Jackie comes and says, "I'm your friend, and I'm here for you no matter what you need." That is what a true friend is. I can't force you to make the decision, but I'm just letting you know I am here when you make the decision. I love when she comes back from the hospital and they're fucking having a party. That's like, oh, the epitome of what the fuck? And then she goes to Jackie's house and is introduced. This is the perfect culmination of being introduced to, Buddhism. I am technically more or less Christian. I have been in the Christian religion for a long time. I have said before that I don't believe any religion has it 100% correct, and I don't believe any religion has it 100% wrong. Honestly, I think all religions have something right, and Buddhism absolutely has things right. And this was a beautiful depiction of how someone comes to Buddhism and why and how it helps them. And even though we think it's weird, and the apprehension of I'm going to chant, and this weird chant, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, it's still very fucking well done in this film. Very well done. And I appreciate that that's what she had to come to make her life better. And she finally, through Buddhism and through saying, I can design my own reality. And I can break the cycle of victimhood. Because what does she say in that scene? That, I know what it's like to have my own blood walk out on me. I can't just walk out. But she realizes in that mentality of I know what it's like to have my own blood walk out on me, I can't do that. In that mentality, she realizes she is forcing herself to be a victim. And through Buddhism, she realizes she doesn't have to continue to be a victim, and she can still be strong in her own person. I love that. It's a great depiction in the film of how Tina came to that and how it saved her life. I love that she finally fights back. She finally realizes that she deserves. And what do we get after that is that brilliant scene when she's, she goes on to a concert, and they have that interaction, that fight in the limousine. Holy shit! Where she finally fights back. She finally fights back. It's not just about defending; it's fighting back. And we finally good for her, And then she, the music at the time when she finally escaped, when he's asleep in the hotel room, and she finally escapes him, and the music has changed. The music is not this cool acoustic blah blah blah. It's now electric and this energy. the music has shifted, and so has she. I like that, like that part. And she goes to the hotel and she's all beat up, and that always is gut wrenching for me when I watch it. It's more gut wrenching than the rape scene is when she goes to the hotel and she's beat the fuck, and she's like, I'll give you anything, I'll pay you back, and she's about to give him the ring, and it just like, and I'd be honored to give you a room. That there are people in this world that recognize when others are going through stuff, and I will help you if I can, because I get that you're at a turning point in your own life. So well done. I love that scene. And then the scene afterwards, the divorce. You ain't got to instruct me to do nothing. Again, Lawrence Fishburne, as despicable as his character is, you have to acknowledge that he does such a great job at remaining Ike Turner, that character. It's so great. And to realize, I'm in the accounting world right now, and I have multiple musicians. And to realize what Tina Turner did in that trial, to give up everything. All I want is my name. To give up all the money, all the publishing rights, like the judge says. Holy shit! I'm sorry. I have multiple musician, writers, producers as clients, and the money they bring in through publishing rights. The fact that she gave up all her publishing rights for all the songs that she had done up until that point is literally starting over. Brand new, with nothing. Wow. You have to get that all she left that courtroom with, maybe some clothes that she had, maybe, no house, no income, zero income. Zero publishing rights. Zero anything. She left that courtroom with nothing but a couple of her children and her name, Tina Turner, and the knowledge that she had a talent that I'm sure she thought that she would make something of even after. And of course, she does. The Disco Inferno show. I love the Disco Inferno show in the fucking hotel. The costumes, again, the costumes are wonderful. I love that shift in where she's got the energy now. That interview with that guy, rock and roll is for young people. They've actually got one of her songs playing on the lobby loudspeakers when she has that interview. I thought that was interesting. And then when she comes out of rehearsal, after that, when she's like, I guess she makes the deal with him and she comes out of rehearsal, you can tell her rehearsal and the energy between her and the people she's working with is completely different than Ike and his constant, step up to the bar and make this, we got to make this work. We got to make this work. Her energy with her musicians at that point was so completely different. So completely different. And then Jesus, the acting. Again, the acting. Lawrence Fishburne stays Ike. Ike shows up and holy shit, gives her the flowers, but it's the same old fucking Ike. It's the same old Ike. And you see how these two characters have completely changed. And here they come in a scene together where it's a positive. It seems like a positive scene together, but then you get that those realities are not going to mix anymore. It's not going to happen. There's no way. It's just not going to happen. And then what do we get right after that is the beautiful, oh my God. Side note, when she puts that wig on, that multicolored wig on, I was like, there's the Tina Turner I know. I know. I wasn't old enough to know the old Tina Turner with Ike, but when she put that wig on with the multicolor, with the gray, the brownish grayish color, I was like, "There's the Tina color I know. There's the wig I know." It looked a little weird on Angela, but it looks perfect on fucking Tina. Absolutely. But that scene, throughout this review, I have said it is not the filmmaking that made this film memorable. It is the acting. And this scene at the end, in the dressing room, between Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne is fucking amazing. It is one of those scenes that I'm surprised is not in those best scenes of blah, 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 in film history, blah, blah, blah. Not only that, but I'm surprised that people don't use this as a way of like, let's just workshop some stuff. This scene between them two at the end is gorgeous. And they are fucking phenomenal. And it's all... What a great director choice. It's all... We're looking at the mirror, not them. We're never looking at them, ever. We are looking at the mirror the entire time. God, brilliant. Brilliant. Love this scene. Love that scene. Excuse me. The acting is wonderful, and the choice to have the entire thing, in the mirror. Wow. And then we get Tina at the end. I've already said I loved it when they... Yes, finally, Tina at the end. Because she has an energy. Because she is one of a kind. You can't replicate that. You can't replicate that. Angela Bassett did such a fantastic job acting-wise at portraying the emotions and the steps and the character that she needed to portray, but there is no replacing Tina. And finally, I love that we get to see Tina Turner at the end. Brilliant. So, what's love got to do with it? I think it's great. Happy birthday, the late, amazing, fantastic, great Tina Turner. And thank you for listening, and we'll get you another one. I'm hoping to get you another one this week so that I can make up at least one of the ones I'm behind, because I'm behind 2 right now. So hopefully I can get you another one this week. Thanks a lot.